Keir Starmer was last night accused of smear tactics after claiming those wanting an inquiry into the grooming gang scandal were jumping on a far-right bandwagon. The Prime Minister triggered a furious backlash after saying Tory demands for an inquiry into the rape of thousands of white girls by gangs of predominantly Pakistani origin men were amplifying what the far-right are saying. Sir Keir also angrily defended his record as Director of Public Prosecutions after Tesla tycoon Elon Musk suggested he was complicit in the failure to tackle the abuse. And he claimed Kemi Badenoch's interventions on the issue showed she was desperate for attention. The Tory leader hit back, accusing the PM of applying Labour's smear tactics from 20 years ago. She added that such a huge scandal could occur should prompt soul-searching, not ranting that those of us who care about it are the far right. Mrs. Badenoch revealed she will table a Commons amendment this week designed to force a vote on the need for an inquiry. Former police detective Maggie Oliver, who helped blow the whistle on the scandal in Rochdale, said she was incandescent with rage at the PM's comments. She told GB News, "I am no far-right activist. I am a woman who gave 16 years of my life to the police, and protecting children was no one priority in my life. All the victims that I know and that we support have had their lives destroyed. To write them off as far-right extremists is insulting in the extreme." Former Home Secretary James cleverly warned that the PM's comments risked inflaming public anger over the issue, accusing those who disagree with him or who seek legitimate answers about repeated failures of child protection as far-right is deeply insulting and counterproductive. He is the best recruiting sergeant for extremism, Mr. Cleverly said. At a press conference in Epsom, the issue overshadowed Sir Keir's announcement of plans to cut health waiting lists, which were meant to be the centrepiece of the latest attempt to relaunch his premiership. Dismissing calls for a fresh inquiry into the grooming gangs, he said, "What I won't tolerate is politicians jumping on the bandwagon simply to get attention when those politicians sat in government for 14 long years, tweeting, talking, but not doing anything about it now, so desperate for attention that they're amplifying what the far right is saying." Downing Street insisted the PM's comments were focused on the Conservatives and said he did not believe the campaigners and victims pushing for an inquiry are necessarily far right. But Tory Justice spokesman Robert Jenrick said his words were an insult to millions with legitimate concerns about the handling of the scandal. Mr. Jenrick said people were rightly furious about the most appalling abuse of incredibly vulnerable little girls and the subsequent cover-up. He added, in seeking to smear individuals demanding an inquiry which is supported by many victims as far-right, Starmer displays the same attitude that led to this scandal continuing for so long. Last night, the PM was also accused of hypocrisy over his attempt to take the moral high ground on the issue of child sexual abuse. Critics pointed out that he signed off Labour's controversial pre-election attack ads against Rishi Sunak, which falsely claimed that he did not think convicted paedophiles should be jailed. Writing in the Mail in 2023, Sir Keir said he stood by every word of the campaign, no matter how squeamish it might make some feel. Ms. Phillips, now safeguarding minister, said at the time that the attack ad was not hard enough for me actually. Tory MP Ben Obiesekiti said Keir Starmer used this advert personally attacking Rishi Sunak during his election campaign. He cannot bivouac on the moral high ground now regarding Elon Musk's comments about Jess Phillips. He bears his own responsibility for the current discourse. The row came as the PM broke his silence following days of criticism from Mr. Musk. Describing child sexual exploitation as utterly sickening, Sir Keir defended his record as DPP, saying he tackled the issue head-on. The PM acknowledged that many victims felt let down by perverse ideas about community relations or by the idea that institutions must be protected above all else, and they have not been listened to and they have not been heard. But he said there had been enough inquiries into a scandal that took place for decades across dozens of towns and cities. Sir Keir added this doesn't need more consultation, it doesn't need more research, it just needs action.